Hello hopeful friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Della of the Court of Hope, Cornwall. I'm starting a new cross-stitch project today for the 1st of July, which is my little granddaughter's 3rd birthday. It may turn into floss tube, it may not. I haven't done cross-stitch for a number of years, but I really fancy getting back into it. What am I going to do? I'm going to need some project bags. And as you know, this is the year of use what you have. I'm not going to buy any new fabrics or anything really to make this. And it's a prototype. So what have I found? This is an old duvet cover. It's old in years, but it's not old as in worn out. And I don't really have enough of the right interfacing, and again I don't want to buy any. What I do have is lots of felt. Now this is polycotton, this duvet cover, and I think this is, I don't know what this is, I think it's acrylic, but it doesn't really matter. This is a prototype. Now the thing I'm going to get my teeth into is I am going to hand stitch it. Am I mad? Probably. But I thought I'd give it a go. So first thing I need to do is cut it out. Here's my interfacing, my felt cut out. I'm not going to bore you with the maths of it, but because I'm hand sewing it, I'm going to give myself a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way through, just to make sure. And for various reasons, I've decided I'm going to make my project bag 16 inches square. I have a future idea, so I don't know until I finish this whether it will work or not. So, but there is a reason. So that's that piece. That's the top. The zip, which I already have, will go in there with that piece, and there's the back. So this is the interfacing. Time to cut up that pink duvet. Well, I'm glad that's done. I hate cutting out. Means to an end. So I have cut out 2 pieces of the top front, 2 pieces of the bottom front, and 2 pieces for the back and lining. And as you can see, it's polycotton, it's quite thin, but I'm going to have the felt in between. Because I'm using felt, it's obviously not fusible, so I'm going to use my Soline glue pen. Now, I don't like glue basting for English paper piecing, so, but I bought these to try it. Don't like it, but I knew it will come in useful for something. So I'm just going to very lightly do a light couple of runs across the felt. Oops. Just to hold it in place. I'm actually following a video from floss tuber Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. This is her how to make a project bag lined with a zipper. Now obviously she is machine sewing hers, but I thought I'd have a go at hand sewing mine. So I'll put a link to her video in the description for those of you who aren't crazy like me and would much rather do it with a machine. So that's that piece. So now flip that over, and I'm going to add a zip. Now this is quite a long zip because again it's use what you have, and no, it isn't pink, but Pinkoween Cornwall is pink and black and orange and all that sort of thing, so I'm using this one. I'm going to turn that over, place it along the edge, and then place my second piece, which will be the inside of my bag, and then pin or clip that in place. That's all clipped in place now. So I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to use the interfacing as a guideline. I'm going to sew just above that line, and I'm using just a pink thread that I had in my stash, nothing special. Use it up, use what you have. I actually think I made a pair of curtains with this when we did my stepdaughter's bedroom. So again, this is probably about 15, 16 years old. And I'm just going to do a back stitch, hand back stitch. I'm going to have a cup of tea and sit in a comfortable chair and do that, and we'll see how we go. So that's sewn now, and just double check the zip still works. Yes, it does. So now I need to add the lower front piece. So this is actually the front. Turn that over and place the other piece over that. And those little bits out the way. And again, I'm going to clip that together all the way along. Then when we open up, it will leave a zip. Now I haven't put the interfacing felt on this piece yet because I found with the sew line stick it was slipping a little bit, so I'm actually going to do that afterwards before I sew down the sides. That is done, and now I'm going to open it out and there we are. There is the front with the zip, and it's lined. Now I am lucky because plain fabric and there's no directional pattern, and I'm not worried about the right side and the wrong side. As I said, this is just a prototype, so I shall take more care when I'm making a patterned one. I've turned that over and I'm going to lift the lining piece up, and I'm going to now add back in my interfacing, because as I said, it really kept slipping even though I had the sew line glue. So what I'm going to do is just pin it in a few odd places. So I've tacked or basted down all my felt onto the front panel, and I have also done, while I was at it, I also did the top panel and I've done the back too, so that's all ready. And now I'm ready to assemble. So this is the back piece in your front panel. No, I've done that the wrong way around. That needs to be right side up. It would be more obvious if it was printed, wouldn't it? You can see all my tacking stitches on there. That's fine. The top piece, which I've very loosely tacked. I finished sewing along that top seam, so that's all four together, and I've also sewn just the two pieces with the interfacing along together, and I've also trimmed that just to tidy it up a little bit. And I'm going to sew but leave a gap, and that's for turning. Well, I'm back, and that was a lot of sewing. I've done the bottom seam and left a gap, and I have also done the side seams, sewing through all 4 layers. And I remembered, just in time, I remembered to open my zip so that I can get to it. And as you can see, I've ruined my polish on my nail, on my thumb. So that's how it shows how much hand sewing I've done. So let's see if it's worked. So put my hand through the gap and find the zip piece. And the top piece seems to have gone okay. This corner. It looks homemade rather than handmade, but as I said, this is just a prototype and it has been 100% hand stitched from what I already had, and it is lined, fully lined. There's no raw edges showing, so I think that's a pretty good start. Shall I leave it as it is, as it's just a prototype, or shall I cross stitch Pinkoween Cornwall? I think I have been stitching all day, so I think it's time for another cup of tea and then maybe sleep on it or start this. I might start this anyway because that will be a birthday start for my youngest granddaughter, which will be rather lovely. And then I'll come back to it. I've had my cup of tea and I've come back and I found my 18 count cross stitch fabric. It's really stiff. It's obviously not a really good make. It's certainly not Zygarde or anything like that. I did map out some stitches like a grid, and I was going to do it as a grid to fit my design, but this is so uncomfortable. As I haven't done cross stitch for a long time, I need my eyes to adjust. So I have found a Lorry Holt free, so I can show you the pattern because it's free from Fat Quarter Shop. I'll put a link below. And this is just a very simple block alphabet. So I've redone my Pinkoween Cornwall, and as you can see, it's much smaller, which is no good for the black count I've got. But when I was looking for my black count, I found this. Now this was a freebie. I can't remember where from. There was a craft shop opening in Cornwall. I think it was Lily Boo. Yes, I'm sure it was Lily Boo in Lostwithiel. And they on their opening day, which was a few years ago, they very kindly gave out little welcoming gifts to people, which was very nice. And I thought, oh, I'll do that home sweet home one day. And of course I put it in a drawer and didn't do anything with it. But it has got a little bit of white cross stitch fabric in it. I don't know what sort of quality it's going to be, but let's have a look. Again, it's quite stiff, but it's small and it isn't black. And as much as I love black, I think, as I say, until my eyes get used to it, Now I know that's 10 count, so this will definitely fit on here. So I think, so that I can get a finish, for now, on my prototype bag, I will do Pinkoween Cornwall on my little freebie piece of fabric. I will keep all of this. Oh look, it even comes with a needle and two needles and a needle threader. Wow, what an amazing gift. That alone is worth the trip to the shop, wasn't it? These are quite nice silks. It doesn't say what they are. So they could be DMC, but they could be something completely different, but it doesn't matter for my prototype. So let's see how far I can get with this. I want to finish this in time for the 13th of July, where I do my Pinkoween Cornwall, because I want to make a new start for my grandson's birthday, which is on the 13th. If you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that on the 13th of the month is Pinkoween Cornwall Day, and it's usually Pinkoween Cornwall Quilt Day. But since last month, all I've done is stitch more patches together, so it's not very exciting, not much to show you. So this is going to be much longer, isn't it? Let's see how I get on and see if I can finish this, have a full finish for my granddaughter's birthday, and then a new start for my grandson's birthday. Wish me luck. That's all done now. That didn't take too long. I really enjoyed it, so I'm glad I am definitely back into cross stitch. Very excited to do some more. I am going to attach this to the bag, and I have some ideas how to, I am going to quilt this because I need the felt to be kept inside, not slide down. So I have some few ideas. It is the 13th now, so it's grandson's birthday and we're going out for breakfast. When we get back, I need to edit this video and get it ready to go out. So I like this to be Pinkoween on the 13th. And I'm also going to make a birthday start on this. Now this is a different piece of black Ada, and it's Zweigart. I got it in a haul, which I'll show you next month on the 13th. This is going to be a long-term project, but I now have a project bag to put it in. Thank you for watching. Do please like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next month. Meanwhile, stay hopeful. Bye.